Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are here. If you can hear me, let me know. All right. So, we're going to be talking about ChatGPT and writing. All right. So, if you're interested in writing about using AI and how you can use it as a freelance writer, because I'm sure you've been looking all over LinkedIn and Twitter, and there's a lot of people talking about, like, oh, I lost my client based on AI. I saw that a lot last year. This year, I haven't seen as many, but I thought I saw one the other day about how a copywriter lost a job based on AI. Let me know in the comments below. I want you to tell me your experience about using AI or having your clients accuse you of AI, or the relationship between AI and writers that you have seen in the industry, what your thoughts are, but in particular with your own experience with it with clients, because I'm going to share what I have come across. Excuse me, a little itchy today. So let's discuss the AI and client relationship and what's going on. In 2023 is where it was the worst. AI was exploding. It still is, but it was way more prevalent because everyone was talking about it, especially in the writing community. And I was noticing a lot of posts of people, or not people, but copywriters and writers were losing their jobs because of AI. They were being replaced. And that happened in 2023. 2023 was a struggle for me with all of that. But in 2024, things are looking better and things have changed. Uh, there are different camps of clients regarding what they think about AI or use AI. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming. And just let me know in the comments below if you have experience using AI with your clients or what your clients are saying about it. But yeah, there are different camps of clients where I do discuss more about that in my course, Right Away to First 1K. So I'm not going to discuss them right here, but I will tell you the clients that I have. Um, I have one client that doesn't care. There are no guidelines about it, whether I should use it or not, and they don't stipulate that I can't use it. They just hired me. They gave me the topic. I wrote the post. They edited it and then published it. There was no questions about it. I did use some AI in it. There was no question about it. So that was just my take on it. My other client, though, on the other hand, has a specific guideline. And within that guideline, it does specify using an AI detector tool on the writer's article, because this is for the editor, the editor has to check the article for any AI. But if there is an overabundance of AI, that it's the editor's job to help the writer change that. So the writer isn't getting docked for using it. They understand that writers will probably use it. And if they do use it, just as long as it comes out more human, and that passes most of the tests, their specific test is a little wonky. They have two, not tests, but detector tools that they rely on. I'm not a big fan of those ones because a lot of my writing does come out more heavily AI, even though I mostly wrote it. So it is a little bit of that, but it hasn't impacted me. Actually, the editor has said I'm a great writer anyway, so it hasn't impacted what they think the quality of my work is. Hey, Cami, thanks for joining me. I need to balance my AI use. Sometimes I rely on it too much and feel afraid that I might lose my writing flow or skills if I use it too much. It is such a powerful and helpful tool for sure. I mean, definitely balancing AI. Oops, I'm touching my mic stuff. And yeah, sometimes you do rely on it too much. There was a point, because I do use AI heavily on my creator side of my business with my niche websites that I use freely, actually. So I do have that experience of using AI in that capacity at a high capacity. And then with my own brands, I I don't use it. And if I do, it's only for like one or two things, which I'll discuss. And then for my client work, it is on a very low scale. Um, Again, that's more typical to how I would use it for my own brand. You know, my blog posts, my social media posts are all my things, my experience. So I'm not going to rely on ChatGPT to tell me what it is, but I do rely on certain things. So I think I put on different hats for when I'm working on my niche websites. Then I'm in that, let's use AI. I'm just going to pump out the articles. I'll show you an example of some of the copy that I don't really edit much anymore. I'm just like slapping it on right now. And then I'll show you how I use it for my client work. So you can sort of see that. In the intern, before I show you all of that, I do want to direct you to one of my resources that I've created for content creators and bloggers, but it would benefit you as a writer as well if you are interested. It is a book that I have for bloggers called 15 Clever Blog Tips with AI. So it shows you how to use AI for a blog post and how to use it more ethically, I guess, or not rely on it so heavily. Um, I preface this for bloggers who have no time to write. Or they aren't confident in writing their own things. So I show proof that I have AI posts that are ranking. I tell how I perfected my process for this. Um, and then I give you how I've been using it, these 15 tips for bloggers and specifically. And then at the last one, I have a video on how I use it for an actual client piece. I really go into all of that. I can't show you again today, but I will show you briefly, like sort of the things that I use in it in the tool, so you can sort of see how that fits. But I have this resource for you. I can drop the link. I don't think I can drop it. Oh yeah, I can drop it in the live right now, I think. I can drop the link for you if you want to take a look at it. It's right here. All right, so there it is. Let's go back. Oops. To my thing, sorry. Okay. So, um, if you guys have any specific questions about using AI, I'm going to show you the things. I'll show you my niche website. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I would use it like almost freely. That is with my niche website. So, for example, Sponge Hacks, I do have a writer. So I pay a writer to help me write the content, and I write the content, and I have an AI tool. So lately, so if you go back a while, let's just go back a couple pages, you can see that the list posts are no more than 30. So we have 17, 14, 12, because I was heavily like editing the AI content here, more so than what I'm doing now, actually, because AI has changed and evolved since I have written these posts. Sorry, I have to scroll down. So now I can write something as high as 50 here, 35, 55. I can write higher list posts because of this process. So we can just take a look at this one. I write my introduction, and then I use AI for the subtopics here. Sorry, there's lots of ads right now. But so this is about refreshing a bedroom. And I had ChatGPT tell me these things about refreshing a bedroom. Let me see if I can find that thread for you so you can see it. It's a while, it's like I have to scroll to see it. Bedroom refresh chips, yeah. Oh, sorry. Mm, for some reason, I can't find it here. Okay, let's do the cozy TV one instead. Let me see if I can find that one. Hold on. Here it is. Okay. So this is the one where I have a thread in ChatGPT for it, for this one. So again, I take the ideas of these pins and then I have it write something very long about this topic here. And so this is what I do. I have my ways. Let me just go to the top here. So I say, write about simple, small living room ideas with TV introduction. So I'm giving an introduction, giving the topic with a TOV for Gen Z women who is in their first apartment. Use conversational, cheeky, and slang. It's very it doesn't make sense, but I just use all these like words so that it knows what I want. And so I might take some of this for the introduction. I have it elaborate, decorating a small TV. Okay. Oh, decorate one so I have it elaborate on one aspect of this here. And so then I use these things here. And then I say the next subtopic, which is with a dining table. So a TV and a dining table in the living room. How would you do this? And so it gave me these things. So in my blog post, I take it and either repurpose it into some paragraphs or just sort of like, this is number one, start with this, and then number two, number three, and I just remove the list here, but it gives me more fluff to write all this stuff here. So that's how I sort of like ask ChatGPT. So rewrite it in paragraphs. Here I just had it rewrite in paragraphs instead. Rewrite it. Make sure that it's in the same TOV because it didn't follow me that way. Elaborate. So you can see the types of terms and things that I want ChatGPT to do for me. I want it in a specific TOV and I want it to hone in on one aspect to elaborate. Now, I'm going to preface this. I don't want you to use ChatGPT for topics you know nothing about. Okay. That is actually one of my tips in the books that I'm giving you for free because I don't want you to rely on the actual, like a lot of the information that ChatGPT gives you can be generic and can be fake, although it's getting a lot better. But I do rely on the TOV. I want the right tone of voice for my niche websites. Not so much for my client pieces. I can actually put my name right in the TOV of Elna Kane because I have a lot of really like a large footprint. I guess it's called a social footprint or something online. So it can draw from that. If not, I can just feed it some of my writing and say, this is Elna Kane's writing, write in that manner. But generally it's for specific pieces within my content that I use for like a client piece. So for example, today, I'm writing a post about having an owned audience, like an audience that you own versus having like your audience on social media. That you can't own your audience on social media, but you can own your audience through like your course students, through email and things like that. So I'm writing about that. And so I wanted my idea. I thought of the idea of how I wanted to start the post, and I wanted to talk about how like unstable social media is. And so I couldn't find the way to start it. I couldn't find the way to sort of like verbalize it and give more ideas. So this is what I gave it here. I don't know if you can see it. I'll increase. So I'm writing about having an own audience, and I want to start with uncertainty with social media. And I gave it examples like banned accounts is one, and some platforms shutting down like TikTok in India, and it might shut down in the US. What other challenges? So it gave me the basics as algorithm, platform, privacy, like all this stuff, data privacy. I'm like, platform biases. I'm like, no, make it user-centric, like banned accounts and things like that. So here, more user-centric. So banned accounts, a platform shut down. Those are my examples. Algorithm changes is a user-centric thing. Hacking and content moderation, those were, I could see how that could be. And then these other ones I didn't even pay attention to, but I really like the idea of this flagging, like the flagging or removing content. I'm like, okay, I can focus on these things here. So I already knew about the banned accounts. I already knew about the platform, shutting down. It reminded me about, oh yeah, don't forget about the algorithm changes, and then talk about, removing flagged content and get examples of that. So I use AI in that capacity to help me just formulate more ideas, get my ball rolling. And that's, in yesterday's video, when I talked about the process of writing faster, one aspect of that is using ChatGPT just to help me blurt out what I'm trying to say in my mind. Like in my mind, it's all a garbled mess. But then if I can get ChatGPT to sort of show me visually, then I'm like, oh, I got it. And I'm going to go, and then I continue writing it. If I get hung up, I go back. The other tool that I use is WordTune, actually. WordTune I like for one sentence because I often get hung up on one sentence. I don't know, do you guys, when you write, for some reason, I can get stuck on like ending that one sentence or continuing on that one thought. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of stuck. WordTune really helps me with either shortening or elaborating or just making it sound better, I guess. I did that with one of my. So here, if you just go to wordtune.com, I think I had this: the thought of building an audience in social media filled with these external factors isn't a sure thing anymore. So like, let's say this was just too wordy. I often write very wordy sentences. So I'm like, well, let's shorten it. How would you shorten it? And then that just gives me more ideas. Like for that one sentence, I can just say building an audience in social media filled with these external factors isn't easy. Wow. That totally like shorten it. It's my thought. That's exactly what I wanted to say. It gives you tons and tons of examples here to do with one sentence. Now, I think Grammarly does that too, but I like WordTune because I can just go to it quickly, put in my sentence, and then I can either have it expanded, rewrite it, make it casual. But I usually use it for the shortened version because I end up writing like a really long sentence with a lot of things in it, and I need to shorten it. So that tool I use a lot, and then with ChatGPT, those two tools I use. Oh, and then so the other thing that I use ChatGPT is actually for like finding examples of what I'm writing about, which I think is so what's the word? It saves up so much of my time because it can take me a long time to find these examples. So let's see if this still works. Let's see. There was a time where I was trying to find podcasts with courses. So podcasters with courses. Like I wanted to find podcasters that had courses, but I ended up getting these courses about podcasts. So podcasters who have courses. Again, still podcast courses. That's not what I want, Google. You're not listening to me, Google. These are not what I want, Google. But ChatGPT knows what I want. ChatGPT, I can feed that in, and it gave me exactly what I wanted. I was amazed by this. I don't know if I have it here, but I don't know if I can find it. It was such a long time ago. I wish there was like a search function here. Let's see. Oh, podcasting. Maybe this. Yes, this one. Look at this. Isn't this amazing? I had to, yeah. I had to tweak it a lot here. Let me see if I can find where I start. Okay. So I said to it, give me real examples, because maybe that works if I say real examples of podcasts that also sell a course. And it gave me like Smart Passive Income by podcast by Pat Flynn. he also has a course, but it was about podcasting, so I didn't like that. But all these ideas and helped me figure out the ones that had a podcast and then also sold courses. So like the Mind Your Business podcast by James Wedmore discusses mindset and strategies for entrepreneurs, and he offers a course called Business by Design. Boom. I can go and research this. What was his name? Josh? James Widmore. So I can go and research, okay, look, he has built Business by Design. I mean, that could have saved me like, I don't know, 40 minutes. I was so frustrated with Google trying to find just examples. Like I spent like 10 minutes trying to finesse what I was trying to say to Google. Like I wanted podcasters who also had another side arm in their business that sold courses. Like I was trying to feed it all this information. It wasn't given it to me, but within one prompt of ChatGPT, I was able to get a good list and use that. I can spend more time writing than researching. And that for me was like, wow, that is how I use it a lot for my client work, is helping me with those examples. Give me an examples. And if it gives me like a generic example, I can see that it's generic because this is a topic again that I am familiar with. So I can see, I often have it reiterate until I get something that is not so generic. Okay. And again, I teach you how to do that in my book, the process of doing that, but I can get it so that I can find good examples. For another podcast, I was trying to find specific types of podcasts, like the what's it called? What are their different? Let's go to my post. Podcasting, I'm familiar with podcasts, but I wasn't like super familiar. Like I don't know all the podcasts in the world, and I only listen to a couple podcasts in a certain like topic. So when I was given this topic with these points, I'm like, oh, I need ChatGPT to help me because like I don't know all of it. And of course I have to research it because I want to make sure. Was it this one? Yeah. So this one I had to find scripted fiction podcasts. I didn't want to take the time to go and search that. So I just asked ChatGPT to give me the popular scripted fiction podcast. And it gave me this one, American Life. I knew about conversational podcasts, so I sourced all those. But this one was a really hard one. Repurpose content as podcasts. Like that, Google had a hard time figuring out what I wanted. I thought Google thought I wanted podcasts about the topic of repurpose. So like I had a hard time, but ChatGPT gave me this like, wow, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. The ladies from The Office talk about the content of the episodes of The Office. So that's repurposed content. So that like again, I was able to write this post so fast because of doing it that way. So hopefully that helped you. I don't know if there are other questions that you guys have, but that's primarily how I use the AI in that capacity. So finishing my sentences or my thoughts are big. Sometimes I might struggle with the beginning part of it. So I'll feed it some text and then I'll ask it for different ways to start that. And so start it with a question, start it with a fact, start it with something startling, and then it'll just give me all these ideas. I'm like, okay, I like this. I'll go with this one kind of thing. So starting, ending the sentence really helps. Researching, like you saw, giving examples. Those are all key that you can use ChatGPT. And then if if your client, like you said, like I have a client that doesn't care that I use AI, it's up to you if you want to flesh out your entire post using a lot of AI. I personally wouldn't, especially for client work. You want to have your own writing. And plus, writing, hopefully for you as a writer, comes naturally. Like you want to write, right? Like I want to write my stuff. It's just that I do get hung up on certain things with certain phrases, certain ideas, certain sentences. I get stuck. And that's oftentimes when I take a break and I get distracted, and then it takes me 10 days to write this post. Now with the help of ChatGPT and I can be focused for 2 hours now. I can write almost a full post because of that. I have these tools to help me. And so what's nice is that this new version of ChatGPT is available for free for you to start using. So go ahead and start using it. Talk to it. Over time, it'll learn yourself. Feed it your writing. Have it get to know you so that you can tweak it and make it work for you on that capacity, I think. But do be careful, like Cami was saying, of it being a balance, of course. You don't want to spend your whole time just getting the output because it is, like I said, it can be generic and it can be wordy. Those are the two biggest flaws. Of course, it could be fake too. I haven't come across that. It's gotten a lot better with the information that it gives me. And I can always double check it. And I often do. I have to check it to see if it's real, to get the example, to get the screenshot, to get all of that. All right. Um, anyone have any questions? No? Everyone's good. Make sure to, if you are interested in my book, I don't even know if I have it anymore here. I encourage you to check it out at least. Let me just pull it up so you guys can see it. It is 15 clever blog tips with AI. And I do have a video of going through a client piece in that. So it is helpful in that respect. So you can sort of see. And of course, I'm going to show you different things that I use it because for each post, I'm going to have different needs. But the needs that I have right now are the ones that I shared in this video. So take a look at that, see if it's worthy to take a look it over in the weekend, apply it. And it might encourage you to even like start some niche websites, and see if you can write. Cause I recently started a niche website, a new one. So, and I'm relying more heavily on AI in that site than I am on the one that I just showed you. So there are definitely levels to AI and how you're going to use it. But for my niche websites, I just for me, it's the content, getting it ranked on Pinterest, getting the traffic so that I can monetize it. It's a different strategy for sure than what I'm doing for clients and for my own brand, of course, right? All right, everyone. I think that's that. Hey, Tanya. Oh, you good. You'll watch the replay. Thank you. You're new to copywriting. Good. Excited to get started. I have gotten some amazing images. That's great to hear for sure. All right. I mean, I have a lot of cool things. So I don't know if there's anything else you want me to talk about with AI, but yeah, you can definitely watch the replay. I talked about clients and AI and all that stuff. The one thing I didn't really show you were the AI detector content, the tools that, the one that my client uses is Zero GPT. This one is I don't know, it must be a good one or something. I'm not quite sure. Let's see about my post. I don't know how much it takes, but I'll do a chunk of my post here and see how much it tells me. I think it tells me how much of it is AI. It's hard for me. These detector tools aren't reliable at all. Like they're just so faulty and stuff. So it says here that it's likely human written. It may include some AI, and it does. It includes some AI. I don't know if these are the specific things that include AI in. Actually, this was AI. That is right. This is a mix, but it will show you these things here. Maybe that's why the client likes it, because it can pinpoint the sentences and then it just restructure it and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't think all of this was AI. This part, though, was. I just copied that, changed it a little bit. This, no. This, no, because I did the Audacity. I did all of that stuff for myself. This is my own writing. So yeah, I often get cited for my own writing as AI because AI is learning from us. So it's learning that people write like this. If you're excited to start a podcast now that you know what it is, let's look at the steps to get it up and running so that people can listen to it worldwide. Like it registers as AI because it learned how I write or how people write, so it's just like a whole continuing circle kind of thing. But yeah, so That's the tool that my client uses. I like to use a variety of tools so that I get a variety of percents that like every time I put my post in, it's always human. Always. I never get flagged for it being like 99% AI. Never, never, never. But there are writers out there that do get flagged because of how they write their content. So it can be a little bit tricky, especially if English is your second language. It might flag as more generated content, like from like AI. So that's hard. That's hard. I English is my first language, but I grew up in a dual language household. So my mom spoke Spanish to me, my dad spoke Danish. So yeah, I mean, I trip off. Oh, I can't even talk. I do get blocks or whatever when I'm talking with certain words because like I grew up in that household kind of thing. So, anyways, oh, you bought one of my courses. I'll start soon. Great. I'm glad. ChatGPT 4. Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay. All right, everyone. I'm going to go right now. Thanks for so much. Okay. Bye.